Rebel fighters and civilians roamed through Bashar al-Assad's ravaged presidential palace on Tuesday, stepping on shredded posters of the former Syrian dictator who fled to Russia days earlier, reports the Wall Street Journal. In Assad's abandoned office, books and papers were scattered on the desk and floor, a history of the Russian army, a map of northeastern Syria, and a biography of himself. On the desk lay packages of benzodiazepine pills for anxiety. On one yellowed window overlooking Damascus, someone had spray-painted, "God curse your soul, Hafez," referring to Bashar's late father, Hafez al-Assad, who ruled Syria for 3 decades before passing power to his son. "We have ended one battle and begin another, a battle to build and develop relations with other countries," said Hassan. The presidential palace, perched on a hill near Damascus, stands as a monument to a defeated regime. Designed by a Japanese architect and completed in 1990 under Hafez al-Assad's rule, the building is a relic of authoritarian architecture, with vast cubic halls. The palace includes at least 2 cabinet meeting rooms, one above ground and another underground, part of a bunker seemingly designed for a last stand. In the subterranean meeting room, brass plaques marked seats for the defense minister and various military commanders. At the head of the table, Assad's place was labeled Supreme Commander. The room connects to an underground apartment with a bedroom, bathroom, and staff quarters. HTS fighters secured the palace after jubilant Syrian crowds stormed it on Sunday, hauling out furniture and artwork. Some filmed themselves entering a garage filled with luxury sports cars, including an Aston Martin and a Lamborghini. The calm on Tuesday reflected HTS's effort to avoid chaos during the transition to a new government. Rebels sought to preserve many government institutions and kept some former regime police in their posts. The rebel victory has the potential to shift global power dynamics, delivering a stinging defeat to Russia, which launched a bombing campaign in 2015 to save Assad's regime from collapse. It also diminishes Iran's influence in the Middle East, isolating Tehran from areas near its rival Israel and cutting off key supply routes to allied militias like Hezbollah. Assad's downfall comes as his allies face other challenges. Russia is heavily engaged in its invasion of Ukraine, while Iran is reeling from Israel's military offensive against Hezbollah, which had intervened in the war on Assad's side. Signs of Syria's uncertain future are already emerging. Israel announced troop movements into a buffer zone near the Israeli-annexed Golan Heights and bombed Syrian military assets. Turkey, a NATO member, is increasing pressure on Kurdish militants it deems terrorists, some of whom are allied with the U.S., pursuing a long-standing political and military agenda at odds with Washington. Debates are already underway about how to handle HTS, labeled a terrorist group by the U.S. and UN. Once allied with al-Qaeda, its leader, Abu Muhammad al-Jolani, claims to have abandoned extremism and has outlined a vision for protecting Syria's minorities under its leadership. While the Biden administration has kept its distance from HTS, some Western diplomats suggest it should shed its terrorist designation. In Damascus, Syrians have torn apart posters of Assad's face in recent days. Statues of his father have been toppled nationwide, and the regime's red, black, and white flag has been replaced with the rebels' flag. Youssef al-Masri, a 54-year-old Islamic scholar from Damascus, beamed with joy on Tuesday near Umayyad Square. He recounted being shot in the chest during the initial revolt against Assad, traveling abroad for surgery, then returning to the capital to await Assad's fall. He brought his daughters to join the celebrations marking the end of dictatorship. "There are no words in Arabic or any other language to express the joy in our hearts after 45 years of oppression," he said. "Today we breathe." The palace's rooms offer a glimpse into the final days of a dictator who, for over a decade, used torture, bombings, and chemical weapons to suppress uprisings triggered by the Arab Spring protests of 2011. Protesters have swarmed Umayyad Square in central Damascus in recent days, posing with armed rebel fighters and waving the green, white, and black flag of the Syrian revolution. After a prolonged civil war, Bashar al-Assad's regime collapsed in less than 2 weeks, as his allies, Russia and Iran, could no longer support him, clearing the way for the rebels' advance. Insurgents aligned with the Islamist group Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, HTS, captured major Syrian cities, paving the way for the nearly unopposed capture of the capital on Sunday. On Tuesday, in the hallway leading to the wing housing Assad's office, a rebel soldier with an AK-47 slung over his shoulder strolled with 2 comrades along a narrow strip of red carpet atop the marble floor. "The nightmare is over," said the soldier, Mustafa Hassan, a former history teacher from the Syrian city of Raqqa. He joined the 2011 protests and was later imprisoned by ISIS when the extremist group took control of the city.